Hey fam, welcome back. You are watching Ask Marshawn. I am Marshawn Olanio. I am a shift relationship strategist where I help Black Christian women are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So today's question of today is, why are relationships so hard? And this was sent in by Shantae. So Shantae wants to know why relationships are so hard. And I have several reasons why relationships are so hard. But before I jump into the answer, if you have a question that you want me to answer, put it down below. If you are on YouTube, put it down below. If you are on Facebook, put it down below. And you have the opportunity to DM me if you want to remain anonymous on Facebook. If you want to remain anonymous on YouTube, but you also want to get you also want me to answer a question for you, then look down below, look for my email address, marshawn@marshawnolaniyo.com, and send that in with please answer this question as the subject line. Now, let's jump into the answer. So what I found why it's so hard for us to be in healthy romantic relationships is because plethora of reasons, again, as I mentioned before, but I'm going to mention a few of them today, which is the baggage that we bring to the relationship. The baggage is in the form of trauma. The baggage is in the form of you not being healed from the trauma that you experienced as a child and sometimes as an adult. But those things, those bad things, in most cases, you are bringing and carrying along. You're lugging them with you from relationship to relationship to relationship, and you don't understand why you keep attracting the same person over and over and over again. It is because now researchers really were able to pinpoint it to say, when people have experienced some type of trauma in their life, and it has actually been shown that each of us have experienced some type of trauma in our life, there are just levels to the trauma, right? There are things that we need to take care of before we can enter into healthy relationships, because if not, we are carrying all of this baggage and we are lugging all of these terrible things, all of these things that made it very hard for us to see the positive, to be optimistic, to attract somebody that has healed. All of that coupled together is why relationships are so hard. It is not the relationship itself. It is the two people in the relationship that makes the relationship hard. It is not relationships. It is not marriages. It is the people that are in those relationships. It is the people that are in those marriages that make the relationship hard. Okay? So it's the trauma, it's the baggage, it's all the stuff that we're bringing, and then we're not healed, trying to create these long-lasting relationships. And then soon as something triggers you, now the real nasty, ugly person comes out and actually spews all of this horrible things to one another. Not realizing that whenever you're spewing all of these horrible things to your partner or spouse, each time you do that, you are slowly but surely disconnecting from one another. And before you know it, you hate each other. And all of this hate, all of these disconnecting moments could have been avoided if both of you would have gotten healed, or at least on your journey to healing. When you're able to articulate why you are the way that you are, who are you, so your spouse can get a better understanding of you. And then actually, it's not to say that your stuff will go away and they'll just forgive everything. Absolutely not. But if you say, you know what, when I was younger, I'll tell you my story, right? So when I was younger, I got teased about my dark skin. And so sometimes when you give me a compliment about me being beautiful or pretty or whatever, insert the word, I have a hard time taking that in. And because I'm not fully invested on how beautiful and how pretty and how sexy I am, I can sometimes cower away from the compliment. I can sometimes come back and be like, well, I'm okay. Or you can tell me how beautiful I am in the outfit, and I say, I got it at X, Y, and Z. trying to downplay the compliment. It's just because I'm not comfortable in my own skin. I'm not saying that it's right for me to be uncomfortable in it. I am just letting you know exactly where I'm at so you can have a better understanding. If this happens, you can call my attention to it. That way I can continue on my journey of healing this particular part of my past. Now, yours may not be skin. Yours may be something deeper. Whatever that thing is, able to share that thing with your partner or with your spouse so you and him, right, can have a deeper understanding of what's actually happening. So now he has the opportunity to decide to stay and love you for you, or literally to walk away. And a lot of people, they get kind of antsy when I say the walk away part, but here's the thing. When you rather him walk away early on versus you've been in it for years and years and years, and now he's been in love and attached to your representative, and then years later, now you start peeling off all of this mask that you've been wearing for years and years and years, and now you're wondering why he is having a problem with this new person. He's having a problem because you didn't love yourself enough to just be you, and then allow him the opportunity to say, I am for that or I am against that, and walk away. Me personally, I would rather have that happen early on. That's exactly what I teach my clients to do. Listen, there is no reason for you to lie about this stuff because it's going to come out. Now, would you rather him fall in love with you today as this flawed person, and then y'all healing together, or you are healing on your own and he's on his own healing journey, and now you guys are coming closer and closer and closer together because now you're learning the tools and strategies that you're able to use to be able to articulate these things to one another so you can understand each other? Or would you rather he fall in love with this false person that you were showing up as, and then again, now you start pulling off all this stuff, and then he still leaves you? So the thing that you feared the most in the beginning is actually what's still going to happen months and years later. So just be you. And that's exactly what I teach my clients to do. You have to love you enough to just show up as you. You got a little snort when you laugh. Snort when you laugh, because it's gonna come out. You got spending habits, it's gonna come out. Like anything that you do in the dark will absolutely come to the light. So relationships are so hard, going back to what I said originally, because of the people in the relationship, because of the people in the marriage, not because of marriage itself, not because of relationships themselves. It's because of you in the relationship. Another thing, and another reason why relationships are really hard, is because most of us were never taught how to choose a partner. We were never sat down and fed beautiful things about ourselves so our confidence and self-esteem can be already an all-time high. A lot of times we don't get that until after we leave the home, when it should have started in the home. And I won't even go down that rabbit hole, because our parents can only give us what they had to give, and whatever they gave you is all they had to give you. And that is what you have to be able to accept. That's a different video. So now the things that you did not receive inside of your home while you were growing up, now we're coming out into the world and we're having to learn this the hard way. But guess what? Some people do not and are not willing to find the answers. They're not willing to seek the truth. If your parents couldn't give it to you, but we got all of these people, all of these therapists, all these people that got all this school and all these coaches that have all this experience, and they can tell you what worked for them. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't. But you got people that are willing to impart information to you so they can give you the tools and strategies that work for them. You can try them out and see if they work for you or not, right? You can go and get the tools from your therapist, utilize them or not. So when choice comes into it, you can say, I know something is wrong, but I don't really know what that thing is. And then you start thinking about the money that comes with the therapy or the coaching. So we're going down a rabbit hole, not realizing that you can get what you need So you don't have to keep repeating these lessons over and over and over again. And many of us have not learned the lessons, which is why we're still stuck in these same toxic relationships. We're still attracting these same people over and over and over again, the same types of people over and over and over again, because you have yet to learn the lesson that you needed to learn. So Michael was like John, and John was like Sam, and Sam was like Johnny. All of them doing the same thing. All of them treating you the same type of way. All of them have this toxic behavior or trait. And it's because you have not learned a lesson about that toxic trait or behavior. Enough to say enough is enough. I am worth more. I am not dealing with that thing. I am not putting up with this behavior because I am worth more. And my standards are higher than they were previously. So the mess that you were bringing to me before is no longer acceptable. Because many of us have a fear of, well, if I don't put up with this, I'm gonna have to start all over. We've been together for over a decade or 20 years. I'm gonna have to start all over. I don't want to do that, knowing you still not getting nothing from the relationship. So instead of you taking a time out, point number 3, instead of you taking a time out before you jump to the next relationship, all that baggage and stuff that I was talking about that you carrying around, here goes some more tapped onto it, and now you're carrying that into the next relationship instead of sitting still, learning about you, learning all of your whys, journaling about it, and allowing all that stuff to just start falling off you and release. Forgiveness. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Hell, I forgive me. So you can go into your next relationship with a clean slate and then feel good about your standards being raised. Feel good about not just accepting any man that comes your way. Feeling good about the treatment of the new guy. Feeling worthy. But that lonely feeling, that aloneness, me not being chosen right away. Why do I keep breaking up? Why do I keep attracting the same type of person? It's because you're the same type of person. You cannot expect to get a different result by doing the same exact thing over and over and over again. It's just not going to happen. One of the main ways to get a different result is literally to be different, to show up different, to expect different, but you also have to give different. You got to do better if you're expecting to get better. Relationships are not hard, people. People in the relationships are hard. Get rid of your baggage. Start your healing journey. If you do not know where to seek the truth, start to get answers. It could be in a book. It could be with therapy, a therapist. It could be with a coach. It could be with a trusted friend that just can roll off some of the things that they have noticed about you over the course of the years. Raising your self-esteem, increasing your self-confidence. Right? And so literally, sis, Shantae, if you need some help with this, I coach a small group of Black women where I'm helping them to do and answer the question that you have about relationships. But you first must get your relationship with yourself in order before you entertain a relationship with another person. But guess what? Most of us have been in relationships or marriages, and that's okay. But when you are sick and tired of being sick and tired of trying to figure it all out on your own, then you can get the help that you want by reaching out to me. You can send me an email. It's in the description box below. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, then you can send me a private message. Go ahead and DM me so we can work together. So you can start on the journey of not only healing, but raising your standards by simultaneously understanding your whys, why you show up the way you do, why you are you, in this case, Shantae. and come get it from somebody that's been in your shoes before. I used to wonder this, why are relationships so hard? And then I had to accept the fact that I was the only common denominator in all of the relationships that didn't work out. Woo! And when I accepted that, I was like, ooh, this don't feel so good. So what you're saying is it was me? Yes, baby. I'm saying it was you, Shantae. I'm saying it was you. Got to take responsibility for the things that you're doing and how you're showing up, the choices that you're making, because it's not always the other person's fault. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And I will see you on the next Ask Marshawn. Deuces, y'all.